Hi everyone, my name is Abby.
And I'm Lily, and together you might know us as Gears for Queers on Instagram and Twitter and such.
So we were going to be running a zine workshop at this year's Cycle Touring Festival. Instead, we've decided to make this video, and we're going to teach you how to create a page for a collaborative cycle touring zine as part of the online festival, and all from our wonderful living room in Kirkcaldy. So we're going to take you through a couple of exercises to help you with any creative block you might be feeling, and then we're going to give you instructions on how you can create a page or two which will then collate into this digital zine.
Before we get started, I guess I'll introduce a bit about us. So we're a queer couple who started cycle touring in 2016. We've been on a couple of long European tours, and we've also done lots of bikepacking trips around our home in Scotland. We run the Edinburgh Zine Library, which is a library of zines based in Edinburgh, and we started making zines, and I'm aware that I'm using the word zine a lot, and some of you might not know what that is, and that's fine. Abby is going to give us the lowdown in a second. But we started making zines when we got back from our first tour. The zines we're probably best known for is our Recipes for Wild Vegan series. This is a set of zines all about cycle touring, about camp stove cooking. It's got tips and tricks, it's got hilarious stories of things we did wrong. And these zines actually turned into our first book, which is out on June 4th. It's called Gears for Queers, and it's available to pre-order from all good bookshops.
When we're talking about zines, we are talking about self-published, handmade DIY booklets, a little like the ones that Lily is modelling right now. Zines have a really long history in radical and alternative culture. Some of you may have heard of them, or perhaps even remember getting them from gigs in the 80s and 90s. Where there were lots of fanzines about bands and about music. A fanzine is literally what it sounds like. It's a zine made by a fan of something. And these fanzines have sort of expanded now, so you get fanzines about sort of books and films and TV and Gordon Ramsay and anything you can think of, really. And then we also have perzines. Perzines are another really common form of zine. They're a bit more like a diary entry, or sort of like a personal experience written down or drawn in a zine. These are great because they really open up a space for marginalised groups and voices. On top of that, they can be a great place for sort of cathartic or creative expression. Zines as well can be made individually, just by one person, or they can be made by a whole group. Some zines literally take submissions from all around the world, so you end up with a fantastic look at like a particular topic from like thousands of people, maybe not thousands, they're not quite that popular, but like hundreds of people. But we're going to be focusing on collaborative zines today.
Zines can really be about anything, like Abby was saying. In the zine library, we've got zines from all sorts of topics. We've got ones that are entirely drawing, we've got ones that are completely text and just written. We've got zines about cats, we've got zines about TV shows, we've got zines that are comics or recipe zines, witchcraft manuals, one about Bruce Springsteen's butt, carpentry zines, and a great one about cryptocurrencies. That's just a few.
Really, the important thing about zines is that they are super easy to make. You don't have to be an artist or a writer. You don't really have to be good at anything. Like, some of the best zines are just like poorly drawn and terribly written, but really like focus on the subject and are full of like passion and enthusiasm. And they're also just a great way of sharing experience and skills and knowledge, which is why they're a great thing for a cycle touring festival.
Yeah, so we want to make a zine with you about your experiences of cycle touring. This could be your best ever tour. It could be your tips and tricks for newbies. It could be recipes. It could be bike packing trips. It could be gear setups, or just like an awesome collage of pictures from your tour. We want you to get creative and think of ways to make your page stand out and really use your own voice and share things important to you. You could write some poetry, you could draw a comic, you could make a collage, you could write an instruction manual, basically anything goes. Like Abby says, you don't need to be an artist or a writer to contribute to this zine. We want as many stories as possible, and because it's the zine, the pages don't need to be perfect and they don't need to be polished.
So some of you might be feeling a little bit worried about creating a page. I know especially sometimes a blank page can feel really intimidating because I have no idea what I'm going to put onto it. So we're going to play a game with you that we play in a lot of our workshops, which is just about getting your creative juices flowing, you know, battling that sort of creative block and getting you comfortable with putting pen to paper. We call this exercise Reckless Zine, which is after the popular Reckless journal that came out like ages ago. All you need is one A4 or A3 piece of paper. We have A3 just because that's all we have. It's probably easier on A4. You need a pair of scissors, and you also need a writing implement, so a pen or a pencil. It doesn't matter what colour, what it's like, just any writing implement. So pause the video right now and go and get these things, and then come back once you've got them and we'll get started.
Okay, so you've gone off and got your paper, and what we're going to do is make something called a mini zine. And a mini zine is normally made up of one sheet of paper, and this is an example of one that I made in actually another virtual zine workshop. And because it's made out of one single sheet of paper, it's really easy to photocopy and distribute. So let's grab our paper. So first thing we're going to do with our paper is fold it in half, hamburger style, I think the Americans call this, but like a book. Don't worry about being too precise with your folds. I honestly do not. And then open it up. So we folded it just side to side like a book. And then we're going to take each edge and fold it into the middle. So we're doing pretty much the same fold, but with only half the paper. So that's one side. That's the other side. So I've now got my two flaps, like that. And my page is divided into 4 parts. Now we're going to fold it lengthways. So our paper should be divided into 8 even segments. Now, this is the bit you have to pay attention at. So I'm folding it in half, like we did right at the start. And I'm taking the edge that's the folded edge, so that's the open edge, and this is the folded edge. And I'm having it face me. And I'm taking my scissors, and I'm going to cut from here to here. Here to here. So remember, this is at your folded edge, so that's my open edge still. That's my folded edge. Right. So I should have a hole in the middle of my paper now. What I'm going to do is fold it in half lengthways, like we did before. So the next thing I always say when we're making our mini zine, and I normally say this to younger audience members, is that I really want to see you in your zine, and then I do this. I say, I really want to see you, and I start looking at them through the hole. And as I'm looking at them through the hole, I'm pushing the two ends of my paper together. So I should have made a kind of a diamond-y shape. And then all I'm doing is flattening this out. All I'm doing then is flattening this completely. So I've had my diamond and I've flattened it. And then I'm folding this in half along the kind of seam. And that's my mini zine with a series of pages.
Awesome, so you've got your mini zine, and now we're going to play the game. So the game works like this. For each page you're going to be giving a prompt, which is going to probably pop up here. It will pop up here. And 1 minute to complete the prompt or the task. Try not to pause the video whilst you're doing it. The point is that we want it to be quick, and we want you to not think too much about putting pen to paper. This is supposed to be a sort of quick fire thing. So 1 minute is plenty for each task. After you've done the first one, we'll be turning to the next page and doing the next task. So 8 tasks altogether, 8 minutes. Okay, so first of all, we're going to turn to the inside page. So not your front cover, the first page on the left. Okay, so for task number 1, we've got 1 minute, and we want you to close your eyes, no peeking, and with your eyes closed, draw a picture of a cat riding a bicycle. We're going to do it with you. We'll be closing our eyes too, and let's start. I'm having trouble in the sense that we've just watched Cats the movie.
Please don't draw one of those cats.
Creepy.
Oh god, no.
Human cats.
No.
It was good lockdown activity though.
Was it though?
I don't really know where its arms are supposed to be. I shouldn't have taken my pen off the paper.
Yeah, I'm going for a pen on paper, but I've also sort of forgotten to bicycle. I'm just like,
No idea. I think it's gonna draw a road and some trees. Probably over. I guess I'll do a gravel road because I have no idea where anything is anymore. Oh dear. Cool. Okay.
not bad.
Not bad. Right. Task number 2. This page just here.
So for this page, in 1 minute, we want you to draw or describe, you can use words, your ideal camping spot.
I can't say my drawing skills are fantastic right now.
Well, you've only got a minute, so they don't need to be good drawings.
I tried to go for by the sea, but it looks a bit like a tsunami.
That's time. This is mine. There's nature all around. There's a tent with me in it. Fire. Flat and soft grass.
Nice.
A marshmallow tree. And mountains.
Okay, I just went for the sea and a grassy flat pitch, but
I mean, I like that we both were just like
Flat. Needs to
grassy
be
and flat. Like. Okay.
Okay, turn the page. Be careful, you don't want to be doing it on like inside pages if you've never done a mini zine before. Okay, so for number 3, we want you to draw a map of a bike route you know really well. I'm going to fit this all in. Cool. Oh, interesting.
So you went for quite a literal map, which I
did.
like. This is from our house past the duck pond
to the train station,
The
which
train
is
station.
pretty much the most common route I would have
I don't
ridden.
think you should be adding.
No, I know.
lines
I'm
after the
sorry.
minute.
I'm sorry.
I went for a more expressive, the beautiful sweeping downhill from our
Beautiful.
house to Costa, where I used to work, and the horrible, painful uphill back home.
So bad.
So
Such a
bad.
hill.
I don't know why we moved to the top of
We're
the hill.
both from the Fens. Like we
So
don't deal with Scotland very
idea.
well.
Right. So our next page. On this page, I want to see a list of all the places on your cycle touring bucket list. Go.
Ooh. I mean, if we're doing imaginary things that I definitely couldn't actually do in real life. Transcontinental. Okay. I mean, I could go on forever, I don't know about you.
Yeah, what have you got?
So I've got Mexico and South America, Iceland and the Faroe Islands, Silk Road, Golden Coast, I think it's the one that goes around in Australia, the Tour d'Afrique, the Transcontinental, I mean, these are dreams, obviously,
Yeah.
I'm not fit enough to do any of those. The Iron Curtain Trail, which is one of, I can't remember what Eurobello that is.
Yeah.
And the Outer Hebrides.
I feel like there's a lot of overlap because we're like married.
Yeah.
So I've got the Silk Road, obviously. I've got the Hebrides. I've got Iceland.
Nice.
I've got Ireland and the
Yeah.
Gower Peninsula. Just I feel like
That would be
those are
nice.
places we've not explored. I've got Uruguay and South America generally.
Yeah.
I'd like to finish the Le Jog with you.
We're so close.
So close, just chipping away. And the NCN1. I would like to cycle
It'd be good. It
back
goes
to the
through
fens.
my hometown
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
It's lovely.
Right.
Next page. We'll try not to chat too much.
Eh,
We don't promise anything.
people are here for the chat.
That's true. Okay, so this one's a little bit more abstract. What we want you to do is take your line on a bike ride around your page. So draw a continuous line and don't let your pen leave the paper. So make a mess, basically.
And go.
The question is, are you going to let the line overlap?
I don't know. I didn't think of that. No. No,
Try
you
and
said
fill up all the paper, I'd say.
Oh god, I was
as
way
well.
too constrained. Did not think through this time.
That's okay, still got 40 seconds. Mine's just looking like horrible switchbacks at the moment.
The end of mine looks like when you're trying to get up to like a certain number of kilometres but you've reached your destination, so you're just like, I'll just go back and forth until I reach it. I got really snarled in this corner,
Yeah.
man.
You did. I thought I was doing well because I only had like 7 seconds left when I got there, but
Yeah, pretty good.
yeah.
So, on the next page, I want you to design a piece of cycle touring or camping equipment that's like would be invaluable, would make your life 100 times easier, but like doesn't exist yet, or you don't own. So just like something that would just like radically improve your life.
Are we going to do the same thing?
Well, you can draw or write it inevitably, because I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I
We
know what
discussed it
I'm
on the
going to
last
do. Yeah,
tour.
okay, so we can't both do that.
Well, I'm going to do it, so good luck.
Oh.
Okay, I'll invent my own. You can do the
No,
one.
no, you do that one. You do that one.
I did invent it, so.
You did invent it. I've got to think of something useful. I mean... Oh, this was a terrible idea. Let's... Now that I've finished, I've just thought of like some really good ideas, but I went for like rocket powered, like mostly for Swiss hills.
Okay.
Yeah, like
just
rocket
like rockets.
just rockets. Yeah.
I went for, we discussed this a lot on the last tour, reusable inserts for cycle shorts when you're cycle touring during your period. Why they don't exist yet?
It's ridiculous.
Mystery to me.
It is.
Right, so we're on the back page now.
The back page.
What's up?
So, back page. What we want you to do is we want you to swap into your non-dominant hand. I mean, if you're ambidextrous, you're going to be like sorted for this one. And we want you to draw a self-portrait. Go. Oh God.
And that's time. That's
Yeah.
alright.
I mean, I'm quite impressed by yours.
Thanks. I broke my right hand, if you remember,
I do
like
remember,
4 years
yeah.
ago. I got quite good at drawing ambidextrous self-portraits specifically.
Yeah.
Right. Last thing, last minute. And we want you to give this zine a title. So have a flick through and think about what would this zine be called.
Feel free to draw as well.
What did you call yours?
The Ultimate Zine Tour. It's the greatest zine that ever was.
Nice. I called mine Soft, Flat and Grassy, a cycle touring zine. Okay, so all of you have made your zine, and congrats if this was your first zine. You're now officially a zinester. We hope you feel creative and ready to make some more stuff. Some of you might be wondering, okay, this is how I make a zine, but what am I going to write about? So we're going to do a quick exercise that we do during a lot of zine workshops to really get us thinking about something that we could maybe put into a zine. So I'd like everyone to either close your eyes if you're comfortable or just relax your gaze. Don't focus your eyes on anything in particular. If you've been sitting in front of a computer screen to do this, or on your phone, just turn away for a moment and just listen to my voice. And I'd like you to think about a moment on a tour, on a bike tour, or on a bike trip, a specific moment, and it can be a moment that was particularly happy. It could be a particular morning that you woke up to beautiful sunshine. It could be a campsite that you loved that you remember sitting in. It could be a lunch stop. It could be a stretch of road, a place that you stopped, a view that you saw. Or it could be a moment that was terrible and miserable. It could be a puncture, a missed ferry. It could be you crawling to the banks of the Rhine because of irritable bowel syndrome. It could be a day filled with flying ants. Any moment that really sums up a tour for you, something that's really, really a powerful and strong memory that's attached to either a really happy emotion or a really miserable one. And I want you to think about that moment, and I want you to think about what could you see around you. What colours were things? Was it daytime? Was it light? Was the sun out? Was it night? Was it dark? Was it dusk? Or was the sun just rising? Are there other people there that you can see, or are you on your own? Can you see water? What can you hear? Can you hear the pattering of rain on a tent? Can you hear that familiar clunk of a bike wheel where the tyre's deflating? Can you hear someone screaming at you because you took the wrong turning? Can you just hear birdsong? Can you hear water? What can you smell? Is it the smell of a campfire, or the smell of a gas canister when you just screw in the little nozzle head? Can you smell food? Can you just smell fresh grass? What can you feel? Are you sitting down in this memory, or are you standing up? Can you feel the earth beneath your feet? Are you wearing shoes? Are you wearing any clothing that's uncomfortable or restrictive, or are you wearing something that's really soft and nice? So I want you to just take a moment to really relive that memory, to sit yourself in it, to remember how it made you feel, good or bad. And just in a few moments, I'm going to ask you to start opening your eyes and return into the room. And then I want you to just take a minute, and I want you to write everything you can about that moment down, just on a scrap of paper. It could be somewhere in your zine. Any words that come to mind, any things. You could pause the video, and if you're doing this with someone else, you could talk to the memory with the person you're sitting with. Anything to really just remember that moment. So that memory could be a starting point for a zine page for you. You could make a zine page that is entirely about trying to capture that moment on a tour. The amazing thing about zines is they can be really factual and full of lists. They can be really broad, or they can be really specific, and they can just be about that one moment of joy or pure desperation and sorrow.
Yeah, I don't know where you got those examples from.
No idea.
Yeah, excellent. So now it's time for you to go away and make your own zine page, or two if you want. We are looking specifically for A5 pages, so half a sheet of A4. One or two of them, potentially three, but we want to fit as many in as we possibly can. We're particularly keen to see stuff based around the theme of this year's festival, which was cycle touring close to home. Obviously the great thing about opening this up digitally means that we might not just get things from the UK, but there might be things from all around the world. So we still want things close to your home, whatever country that might be. Once you're finished, you can email either a PDF or a page to lilithandabbey@gmail.com. You could scan your page in, but obviously we know not everyone has access to a scanner, so there are some really good scanning apps you can get on mobiles, or otherwise just a really well lit picture of your page should do. When you send it to us, please make sure you include anything you want us to include in the zine, so your social media handle or your name, and any other information, your age, whatever you fancy.
It goes without saying that we won't include any inappropriate content in the zine, and that includes anything that we consider offensive, derogatory or discriminatory. The Cycle Touring Festival is a family-friendly event, so whilst it's completely okay to make zine pages that deal with whatever topics you want, so like mental health or periods or whatever, please do bear that in mind, and no not safe for work images. Please also, when you're making pages, or when you've made your mini-zine, post it to social media. Tag the Cycle Touring Festival and tag us. We're Gears for Queers on Twitter and Instagram, and we really want to see the work that you've made. If you don't want to use your images used for the zine, just say so on your post or give us a little message. Otherwise, we might include some of the tagged social media images in the zine. We can't wait to see what you've come up with.
Really looking forward to it. We plan to post a finished digital zine by the beginning of June, so you have a little bit of time to work on it, and it will be free for everyone to view.
We hope you've enjoyed making your zine with us today, And we hope you enjoy the rest of the Cycle Touring Festival's awesome looking online programme. We'll probably see you in some of the Zoom webinars. We hope you take care, stay safe, and happy zining.
Enjoy!